Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. It's the podcast where we watch The Muppet Christmas Carol 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Anthony Strand.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Rowe.
And we are joined today by a very special guest indeed. Same one as last week. Who are you?
It's me again. It's Patrick Cotnoir.
Hooray.
What?
Hooray.
Great. What a thrill. And Patrick is joining us today to talk about minutes 15 and 16 of The Muppet Christmas Carol. In these minutes, Scrooge deals with all manner of frustrations. Charity workers, carolers, and paid time off. So we start with Bunsen is asking for a donation, which is where we left him last time.
He's just still hanging out, still waiting for that donation.
He's
Mid-sentence.
Yeah. And then Scrooge stands up and quietly says, well, now let's see. I know how to treat the poor. And then he just talks about how his taxes pay for the prisoners and the poorhouses and the homeless must go there. So I wanted to talk about, before we get too far, there's a deleted song from this scene that I think would have come right about here that is on the soundtrack for the movie. And that song is called Room in Your Heart. And it's about Bunsen telling Scrooge that he should become a nice boy.
Pretty much.
Now, did they film it? They just recorded it, right?
They never filmed it. Yeah, they just recorded it. There's going to be a Sam Eagle song later, too, called...
Chairman of the Board.
What's the song called? Chairman of the Board, Board.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that they never shot either of them.
Right.
And it's kind of too bad because it would be... Like, first of all, I think this one especially is a really fun song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun if it doesn't need to be in the movie. I suspect that one reason they didn't include it is that some of the same message is repeated later with Marley and Marley, just kind of people telling Scrooge to change his ways. This one is a little brighter and happier about it, but it would have been nice if it were a deleted scene that we could see.
I should hop in and say Marley and Marley is my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh, cool.
I know I was all doom and gloom last episode saying it's bottom of my ranking, but I do want to say Marley and Marley top tier Muppet scenes for me.
That's a
Muppet
good choice.
Songs, Muppet scenes,
to the point where some people think that is Statler and Waldorf's name. Like you'll see that. Yeah. You'll see online people be like, "Oh I love Marley and Marley sitting in the theater box."
Yeah. Well, because they sing "We're Marley and Marley" so many times in that song, and they don't identify themselves by name in every movie, and certainly not all over the Muppet Show. So yeah.
Do they only do it in the Muppet movie?
That's what I was going through in my head. I'm Waldorf.
Well, they did that bad web series called From the Balcony.
Yeah.
In about 2006. But at the start of all those, they say, I'm Statler, I'm Waldorf.
Sure.
Right.
So I don't know if those had the lasting impact that the movies have had, though.
No, not quite. I don't think they're even out there anymore.
It won a Webby, though.
I'll say this.
A Webbigale. The character from DuckTales.
Yes, it's named after Webby from DuckTales.
I'll say this. Those came out at a time when I was very into the Muppets. Like, it was like was it like 2006, 2007?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
14, 15-year-old Patrick, and I was like real hardcore in it. And I remember our internet was not good enough, and we had to go to my grandparents to watch From the Balcony because I was so excited for the new episode every week.
Wow.
I'm looking to see if they're on YouTube now.
Did you go once a week to watch the new From the Balcony while they were
we used to go over every week, so it looks like a lot of them are on YouTube.
Okay. My memory of From the Balcony is that the Statler and Waldorf parts were the worst parts. Yeah. And when they would do little insert sketches, those were much funnier. With just a bunch of whatnots.
Midway through, they lost Dave and Steve, right?
Yes, that was very controversial in the Muppet fandom at the time. They recast Statler and Waldorf.
Was it Drew Massey and
Victor
Yared?
Yes.
And Victor Yared, Which I remember when Dark Crystal Age of Resistance came out. And Victor Yared is Hupp in that. One of the really lovable supporting characters.
One of the breakout stars.
And I remember thinking like, oh, everyone was so down on him on From the Balcony. But now, look at these fair weather fans.
It's so
funny. Yeah.
So silly. But obviously, Drew Massey and Victor Yared are both very talented.
They are very talented, yeah.
Like I feel like you think you know what Statler and Waldorf sound like in 2006, and they just weren't it.
I think it was just surprising to us at the time.
There's a playlist on YouTube that has the first 9, and so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it goes episode 33. So there's a lot.
The
that
last episodes,
and I think the 9, right? 9, those are the ones with Stephen Diggs.
That's probably the first batch.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say.
So then,
there's some people out there. I'm speaking to you, Muppet fans, who are hoarding a lot of video stuff.
I'm sure
and you're not putting it online. I'm talking to you, Kermie Clown. I'm coming for you, Kermie Clown.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say
I'll say
Kermie
it.
Clown out loud.
I'll start my feud with Kermie Clown. Kermie Clown, you were good to me as I used to buy stuff from you online a lot when I was a teenager. But now's the time. Put them online. Get them up there. People want to see episode 10 through 32. That's it. Cut it if you want. If you don't want to wade into the Kermie Clown waters.
Well, as long as we're talking about it, you talked about that in a Tough Pigs article that I wrote.
I
called
did.
The Oral History of Mo Frackle. Which listeners should go read if they haven't read it yet.
Yes, because I am the person who uploaded the Muppets on Family Feud to YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I put up. I put up the Family Feud. I put up the 60 Minutes, like from the 70s. That's up there.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Then I gave my friend Connor Ratliff the copy of Kermit hosting the Tonight Show, and I go, yeah, I don't care. Put it up on YouTube. And now it's got like 1.5 million views, and I'm like, well, why didn't I put it up on you? You know.
Then you would have been the person to have a number on a screen that was a lot of numbers.
Right. Well, and you also, I don't know if I ever thanked you for graciously allowing me to bill you as Mo Frackle superfan in that article.
I forgot about that. That was a fun week because I just had to rewatch all of them. You know,
right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I watched them all right before that too.
We will link to that article in the show notes.
Good.
And
it's like my crowning achievement. History of Mo Frackle.
It's a great legacy if that is your crowning achievement. There's some old Sesame Street episodes that my parents had taped off TV for me in the like mid 80s that I used to send to people in tape trades. And every once in a while I'll see one of those, like stuff that I'm pretty sure is from those episodes that I sent out. Like that'll show up on YouTube or something. It's kind of a weird, like, I recognize this street scene. I think this came from my tape. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is a strange feeling.
I'm just telling people, if you got stuff, put it out there. Let everyone enjoy it.
Well, if the Wicked Witch episode of Sesame Street can make its way out there, let's get the lost, what is it? Obscure media, lost media people on from the balcony.
Yeah.
Right.
We demand to see it.
And as long as we're talking about that era, as far as I can tell, Muppet's Kitchen with Cat Cora has disappeared from the internet.
Oh, that's not on YouTube or anywhere.
I couldn't find it, which is like not good, but I was trying to show it to Roz recently.
Your weekly YouTube search for Muppet's Kitchen with Cat Cora, you're like, where did it go?
Well, we were just like Roz and I were watching an old Iron Chef that she was in.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, remember when she hosted a show with Angelo, the Muppet Chef? And Roz is like, no, what? And I'm like, we got to watch them all now.
I assume that was all before you and Roz met, because like she must have known about it if she had been with you at the time.
I think it was. When was? Now I'm going to look it up.
I'm just saying, I would be shocked if Angelo existed in the time of your relationship with Roz and she did not know Angelo.
It says 2010, which is we were engaged when those videos came out in September 2010. So
now
we probably just had better things to talk about.
I suppose.
I've never seen them, so this is my plea to the world: put them up on YouTube so I can watch Angelo.
So Patrick can see them, so Roz can see them.
Yeah,
the people need to see Angelo.
Where were those hosted originally? Was it like a food channel?
It was just like on a website. It wasn't like Muppet's Kitchen with Cat Cora.
Oh, okay. But wasn't it sponsored by some kind of food network or like a food magazine or something?
I think so, yeah. Or it was like Gladware presents Muppet's Kitchen with Cat Cora.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. The other thing I was going to say about the song Room in Your Heart, which is not missing because it's on the soundtrack and you can listen to it on, your streaming music service of choice. Danny Horn, Tough Pigs founder Danny Horn, has talked about how disappointed he was because he bought the soundtrack before he saw the movie. So he thought Bunsen and Beaker were going to have a song, 20 minutes in. And then he said, like, when they didn't, that's when he realized that this movie would be no fun. Or something like that.
When Bunsen and Beaker exit without singing.
This when he comes on. Yeah, right.
Like it has... Does it happen twice in that song? Maybe I'm misremembering that Bunsen says, "Start dancing, Beaker," and then presumably Beaker is just doing some...
I think just once. I think it only... I don't know why he would yell, "Start dancing" twice.
Okay, I don't know. But anyway, it would have been fun to see.
Well, maybe he didn't start dancing the first time.
That's right.
I said, "Start dancing, Beaker."
Beaker does not have ears. Sometimes you need to
repeat them. It's like when...
They're under his hat, his top hat.
Are they? Yeah.
It's like when Job at the Bluth Company Christmas party, when Job says, "Everybody dance now." Yes. Everybody dance now.
Right. Exactly like that.
Yeah. So what does happen next in this movie is that Scrooge shows Bunsen and Beaker to the door, and then Bunsen angrily says, "All right, Beaker, come along. I think we've taken enough of Mr. Scrooge's time." And he gets real mad, and then everyone on the internet insists that Beaker flips Scrooge the bird.
Yeah.
What do you guys say? What do you have to say about that?
Popular misconception, but as we know, Beaker has 4 fingers.
Yeah.
So when he extends that finger, it's his index finger. He's holding up his index finger like he's kind of...
It is like, clearly his index finger.
He's shaking his finger at Scrooge, or like tisk tisk, or how dare you. But yeah, it's just the position of his, and the fact that he only has 4.
I do want to confirm, I did just watch it in slow motion. I watched it on 0.25 speed right now. It is his index finger. So you guys can stop.
I get it. Well, it just occurred to me. I guess if you really were in love with this theory, you could make the case that because he only has 4 fingers, he doesn't have an index finger. He only has a middle finger.
Yeah.
And a ring finger and a pinky. But
also, technically, well, I guess the puppeteer's middle finger is probably in that finger.
Yes,
I think it's the last. Isn't it the last 2 are what?
No,
is it?
I think that's it. I think it's pointer finger, middle finger, and then the last 2 are the last. I think
probably right. Actually,
yeah.
But also this theory is so popular. I just Googled Beaker F, and the top result is Beaker from the Muppet Show. But Beaker FL, it's Beaker Flask, Beaker flipping off Scrooge. So
yeah, I Googled it and I found like at least 6 Reddit threads about it. So yeah, people.
It's like I uncovered a dark secret.
Most of them were like, I just noticed this amazing adult humor in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Sorry to disappoint, guys.
Yeah, but before that though. When they're about to run out, Bunsen says, "Oh dear," and Beaker clearly says, "Oh dear."
If they'd rather die, then they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
This is the door.
Yeah, that is something I noticed.
It's striking because
talk about that.
Yeah, again, this is Steve Whitmire's first time as Beaker, and already he's having Beaker
speak
words which you almost never hear.
Yeah. Now, why do you think they did that? They let them do that.
So I was trying to think. We determined that it's almost... We were pretty certain that Beaker speaks a line off camera in the Muppet movie, which is Richard Hunt. When they're preparing to shoot the movie, Beaker's voice says, "Makeup ready." I can't think of any other examples from the Richard Hunt era.
Beaker... No, in that same movie... Bunsen says the effect is sadly temporary, and Beaker says, "Mammy."
Well, right, but "mammy, mammy" is not the same as actually articulating words.
Yeah, but it's not me either.
Yeah, it's kind of halfway between. I just thought of another one though. There's a Muppet Loud sketch in an episode of the Jim Henson Hour where Beaker is stuck to the ceiling with some kind of magnetic shoes or something, and then the shoes power off, and he goes, "Oh no!" and
weird.
Falls to the floor.
So I guess there's no rules. I guess
it was not without precedent, but it does still seem surprising that Steve Whitmire did it on his first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you got Beaker on TV just like saying, "Hello, my name is Beaker. I'm a normal human man."
Hello, and welcome to Holy Moly, starring the Muppets. I'm Beaker. I actually started a couple of years ago.
Peter Linz? Is that who's playing Beaker now? Peter Linz?
I think it's David Redman. in recent
that makes
appearances.
sense. Yeah. Okay.
A couple years ago, I started on a video for Tough Pigs called "Can Beaker Talk or What?" which I have yet to finish. But one of these days, I will finish that video and post it on Tough Pigs.
This is all research for it.
Yes,
it does say David Rudman, 2017 to present.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, have you come up? What is your thesis of that video? Like, have you come to an answer yet? I don't want you to spoil
I think
anything.
the answer is that he can, but just for some reason he hardly ever does. But there are examples of him speaking.
Imagine if you knew someone who just did that in real life. Like, it would get so obnoxious so fast.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Man, I know you can talk. I've heard you say sadly temporary.
Right. Well, it's like the thing about whether Harpo Marx's characters are mute or can he just talk and he chooses not to because it's more fun not to.
Right. And I think, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I think it is
No, let's get deep. Let's get deep,
I think,
Anthony. Come on. Now's the time.
I think Paramount Harpo can talk and chooses not to.
Sure.
In the 5 Paramount movies. And MGM Harpo cannot talk. Because in the MGM movies, he's always doing that charades
They're
thing.
playing charades. He has something very urgent and important.
To tell Chico something.
Right.
So do you think something happened to him in between?
That's a good question. Yes, in 1934, he drank bleach and it shredded his vocal cords. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh man. Actually, speaking of Harpo, my son Miles is kind of obsessed with Harpo lately.
Mm-hmm.
And he will always say, "This is Harpo's new movie," and then he'll just start like doing something silly. And a lot of times, because he knows that I will say something about Harpo talking, a lot of times before he does, he'll be like, "Harpo learned to talk," and then he'll
he's
say
giving
like,
you a disclaimer.
Yeah, because he knows that I would call him out on it otherwise.
Wow.
So. Yeah,
I wish there was a Marx Brothers movie where Harpo did talk and Harpo says Harpo learned to talk. Like, that's like
at the beginning of the movie, he would turn to the camera and say, Harpo learned to talk.
Harpo learned to talk. That's it. You just need to do it once. That's it. Anything beyond that, you're like, no, he said it. It's canon.
Yeah.
Right.
Did any of the Muppet Show writers or performers or producers ever talk about the choice to have Beaker communicate like this? Like, is it somehow like less disturbing for this guy who's always a victim of Bunsen's experiments to not be saying like, "Oh no, my nose fell off. That's I hate this." You know, maybe it's funnier for him just to go me.
I feel like his like screaming, his like guttural screaming.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of specifically is Muppets 3D when he's on the wheel and he's like,
yeah,
like that. I feel like that is so much more like viscerally like, oh no, this
you
man
still
is
feel really sorry for him.
Yeah. That's my take. I don't know.
All right.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Really
well, we got a lot more minutes to get through.
Yes.
The next thing we hear is a voice outside singing Good King Wenceslas. And we don't need to get into the origins of Good King Wenceslas here, but if you want to hear Ryan and I and my wife Roz doing that, you can listen to minutes 39 and 40 of our season on Muppet Family Christmas, because we discussed the origins of that song in some depth there.
Yeah, we talked about all those Christmas carols in depth. That was another really educational podcast episode.
Right. Yes. We were fortunate to have my Christmas Carol enthusiast wife on some of those episodes. But this one, it's Bean Bunny singing it. Scrooge opens the door and looks around at eye level for someone, which I think is really cute. And then when he doesn't see anyone, he looks down and there's Bean Bunny. Now, who is Bean Bunny? We haven't seen him in a Muppet movie before.
It's true. This is his first movie appearance.
I mean, we've seen him in specials, I guess, on this podcast, but not in a movie, because this is like his last big appearance as part of the Muppet Gang.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really, I mean, this is like the last time he ever has lines, almost. I think. You know, he gets hit by a door in Muppets from Space.
Right. Well, that kind of becomes his thing in a few projects after this, where he just makes a very brief appearance to have some kind of slapsticky thing befall him.
Right.
His last thing is something called Disney Extreme Digital.
That was that was like a bunch of really very, very short shorts on like Muppets.com or something.
Yeah. But before that, it was Wizard of Oz was the last thing.
Sure, that makes sense.
Does he actually do anything in Wizard of Oz?
I don't remember.
Or is he just in the background?
Yeah, I don't remember. I do not remember him in it. He probably plays a flying monkey or something. But what I was going to say is, what I love about this is when we see him out here, he's standing on the stoop in plain sight. Like, his entire little body is visible on the step, which makes him look so tiny and so cute.
So tiny, especially with Scrooge just sort of looming over him.
Which I do think it's funny that Scrooge looks eye level first, because it seems like the majority of people in Old London are Muppets. Like Scrooge
are much shorter than him.
Scrooge seems to be the outlier here.
Yeah, he works with a little frog and some even smaller rats.
Yeah, but it's like Scrooge, Fred's wife, and maybe some background people, but like not really that many other humans. You would think you'd initially go down and then look up.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, although as we'll see at school, he grew up around a lot more humans. So.
Yeah, but what happened to him, Anthony? Where'd they go? Where'd they all go?
The Muppets all took over. Like there was like some sort of
the Muppet gentrification of London. Yeah.
But so Bean Bunny says, "Penny for a song, governor," which is funny because he still doesn't have an English accent in this movie. He basically sounds like Bean Bunny, who does all the time. But he says, "Penny for a song, governor." And then Scrooge shuts the door on him and then opens it to throw a wreath at Bean Bunny out of spite.
There's the wreath. Yep.
Which, okay, so am I crazy? Because it looks to me like the wreath does not hit him, but it knocks him over.
Oh, no, I don't think it does. It just kind of hits the ground.
It knocks him over, and then the snow puffs out. Which is a fun effect. Someone clearly just had like a tube of snow that they had to like blow in at the same time that he fell over.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
On the Brian Henson commentary on the DVD, in this part, he says, "Inside the Muppet Company, we love to hate Bean Bunny." And then he goes on to say that he knows that will not be a popular sentiment among some of the fans. So I guess that's kind of why he just became this kind of hapless little character in this era.
Now, this is probably why most people know Bean Bunny, right?
This movie, I
would think so. Yeah.
Well,
like
or Muppet Vision. Muppet Vision 3D, he's very prominent.
Yeah, but I think for the general public, like, I don't know. I feel like more people have seen. Well, I don't know if more people have seen this than Muppet Vision. Because if you think about,
I would know. But if
you think about the volume of people going through Muppet Vision, they show that like probably 15, 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, a lot of those people have seen it before, and new people are seeing this every year.
That's true.
Right. And I mean, how many people watch this movie that are never going to go to the parks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny that it seems like people like Bean so much, and he's in this movie for 45 seconds because he comes back later.
He comes back at the end. Yeah. He'll be in it later. And speaking of later, at this point, there's a dissolve, and then time passes, and now it's night. And Kermit and the rats all come in to tell Scrooge that they're going home. Which Kermit says, "Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge, but it appears to be closing time." Which I think makes sense for Bob Cratchit, for like meek clerk Bob Cratchit. But it also feels like that's kind of how Steve Whitmire played Kermit forever for the next 30 years.
Oh, as sort of the meek, tentative version
like,
of Kermit.
Yeah,
like, "Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge, but it appears to be closing time."
It is interesting to think about how much this first time informed, this incarnation of Kermit.
Yeah.
Right, because Kermit's not, I mean, like I said, that makes sense for Bob Cratchit.
Yeah.
But for Kermit, like on the Muppet Show, "Excuse me, sir," like,
yeah,
it would just be like, "Oh, wait, it's closing time. Get out of here."
Would drastically change this movie if it was frazzled Kermit.
If it was frazzled Kermit.
Or on the Muppet Show, he would at least be then like doing some take to the audience or making a little wisecrack at the camera.
Yeah.
Right. And Scrooge says he'll see them tomorrow morning at 8. Kermit says it's Christmas, and he offers to give them until 8:30.
What a guy.
Which again, like, does this happen every year? Like, he knew it was Christmas.
Yeah.
He's had employees. He's an old man.
Yeah.
And Bob's worked for him for a while, right?
It sure seems like it, yeah.
I don't think this is his first year.
No.
Right.
And if not Bob, someone else. I mean, Marley's been dead these 7 years.
True.
And he's So he's definitely been dealing directly with employees that whole time.
I should correct you, Marley and Marley.
Right. Sorry,
you said one.
I said one. There's two of them. Of course,
there's two of them. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Now, is this something in the book? Does Bob asking for more than a half hour? Does that pop up in the book? That feels
that's Cherry Jewel. Yeah. In the book, Bob actually doesn't even ask for the time off. He doesn't get the chance because Scrooge says, "You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose." And Bob says, "If quite convenient, sir." And then Scrooge complains about having to pay him for the day off. So he doesn't even actually ask. It's just like in the book, Scrooge does know it because it's been happening, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, that's pretty much where we cut off here is Kermit says the whole day off is customary. Scrooge like feigns surprise and says the entire day. And that's where we end.
Yeah.
So I actually have a bunch of stuff from the book for this one.
Yeah.
At the beginning when the Bunsen and Beaker part, when Bunsen says some would rather die, you know, and Scrooge says if they better die than let them do it and decrease the surplus population. I kind of skimmed over that earlier because it's straight out of the book. I think everybody knows it is, right? That's one of the famous things. So I've referred to my copy of The Annotated Christmas Carol by Michael Patrick Hearn a few times. And in that book, Hearn talks about how it was actually a common intellectual position at the time to argue that the poor should be euthanized. He cites Adam Smith and Thomas Robert Malthus as two public intellectuals who wrote essays talking about how the best way to deal with the poor is just to kill them all, basically.
Two guys who definitely stood the test of time because we definitely all know who they are today. So
right.
We've all heard those names in school growing up.
How many years do we have before our Republican politicians start to make this?
Now you say years. I think
how many days? How many days?
June right now.
Yeah.
Right. We'll be lucky if we get the Halloween.
Yeesh.
Right. But what Dickens is doing is mocking an actual position people are arguing for by having it be the cruelest possible thing that Scrooge can say.
Yeah.
And having the book treat it like it's the cruelest possible thing Scrooge can say.
Yeah.
Next thing is in the book, the caroler sings God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. He does not sing Good King Wenceslas, but he does sing a familiar Christmas carol that we still know today. And then Scrooge threatens to hit him with a ruler. Personally, he holds up a ruler to strike him. Yeah, exactly.
Good King Wenceslas did exist at the time, though, right? So he could have been singing that.
And in the book, also, there's no indication that caroler is the same character at the end.
Sure.
Who he gives, tells
but
him
it makes sense. It gives you that.
Right. Yeah. I think it makes
sense.
sense for it to be Bean. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of has an arc.
Right.
Now you said God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and I was like, there's a Muppet thing with God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and this is how broken my brain is, and I'm sure you two can relate on some respect to this, because I said, I know there's a Statler and Waldorf God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and I Googled it, and it's from the first episode of the first issue of Muppet Magazine.
Whoa.
They do a parody.
That rules.
It rules, but I'm also sad.
It's a parody. Right. Is it God Rest Ye Cranky Gentlemen?
I believe it's Please Rest Ye Grumpy Gentlemen.
Okay.
There you go. There it is. Uh-huh. So you said you're sad because you remembered that it exists?
Absolutely, I am. Absolutely.
I'm way past that now, though. I'm not sad about these things or ashamed anymore.
I just wish I remembered my sister's phone number. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can't remember that.
At a certain point, you just gotta let it go.
You can remember Statler and Waldorf. Please rest ye grumpy gentlemen. So good. Oh man.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's probably because we had 4 issues of Muppet Magazine that I just read over and over. You know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say, if you were born in 92, why did you even have 4 issues of Muppet Magazine, which ended in 1988?
My aunt loved the Muppets, and my grandma had all of her stuff still, all of her kid stuff,
Sure.
So it was just one of those things that it was in our playroom at my grandma's house. Who keeps coming back? going over watching From the Balcony and apparently reading Muppet Magazine over and over again.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like heaven.
Yeah.
Although it's the same for me, as I've said on this podcast, we didn't own this movie on VHS, but my grandma did.
Oh,
she
sure.
had Muppet Family Christmas. She had Christmas Eve on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
So I watched all that stuff at her house. I didn't watch it at home.
Yeah, she had a lot of
right there with you.
a lot of the late 70s, early 80s books. So like the Muppet Show book or like the Muppet Movie one or the Great Muppet Caper like script one. She had all those. So I would read those a ton. And they've unfortunately they're now crowding up my apartment. Every single thing I'm like, I gotta take it with me.
Oh yeah,
Gotta stay in my apartment. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, any thoughts about these 2 minutes before we close? Patrick, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean these 2 and 4 minutes too, but these 2 minutes feel very like a lot of stuff happens in them. A lot of memorable things from this movie happen in them. With the bean at the end of Bunsen and Beaker and the Bob asking for the time off. I feel like those are like 3 very distinct scenes that a lot of people remember from this movie.
Yeah.
And I could not believe that they were all happening this close back to back to back.
It's funny how that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a movie that doesn't waste time in general.
No,
I mean,
it moves quick.
Moving.
Yeah, for sure. But no, it's a good 2 minutes. It's the beginning of this movie I like a lot. I feel like I remember the beginning a lot more than I remember the later stuff. Like I feel like stuff will pop up later in the movie that I am always caught off guard by because I just don't remember it happening.
Huh.
But for some reason, the beginning is like the thing that's stuck in my brain. I don't know why.
Huh. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan, how about you? Anything else?
Just one thing. It never occurred to me to count how many rats are working for Scrooge, but in this shot where Kermit is asking for the time off, they're all kind of gathered around him. There are 8 rats working in Scrooge's
that's a pretty big payroll.
It is.
Yeah.
9 employees for what does Scrooge do? Is he like an accountant? What does he do?
Money lender.
He's a money lender.
Got it. One of those classic jobs. That's a lot of people to pay. Cats and frogs and whatever's to pay.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't pay them enough for what they're worth.
Sure.
Still.
Yeah. Right.
What they're worth. I like that. What those rats are worth.
Adjusted for inflation, assuming 1843 pounds and 1984 dollars are the same, do we think that Pete at Pete's Luncheonette pays his rats more than Scrooge does?
I would say, yeah. My immediate instinct is to say yes. Pete must pay better than Scrooge.
I see, because I kind of feel like he just pays them in Yankee bean soup.
Well, that's possible, but
with spoon.
He gave the Muppets the Yankee bean soup for free in that first scene.
That's
so
true.
He's not stingy like Scrooge is.
Wow.
That's true.
What a conversation.
Now,
we've all been stuck inside too long.
Now, if the Penguins
that's true.
had gotten jobs, that might be a different story because that was a lot of penguins. So then he'd have to, adjust everyone's salary accordingly.
Right. And David Arquette in Muppets from Space doesn't even pay his rats at all, and he's experimenting on them.
Ugh.
Crazy.
And
what a jerk.
The rats in Muppet Treasure Island had to pay to go on the Hispaniola.
They were going on a cruise, yeah.
Hang on. I need to take this. You said Pete at the diner and the rats. In my head, I thought you were talking about Mickey's Christmas Carol and that Pete. I know that you're talking about Pete. And I'm like, what is the connection here? I'm like, Pete is not Scrooge.
You were picturing Pete from the Mickey cartoons.
Absolutely, I was.
Pete, the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Yes.
Throwing back his hood and saying, you'll be the
Why,
richest
you?
rats in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And that's why I was sort of pulling back from that conversation because I was like, I don't understand what's happening right now. But now I get what's happening. That's so funny.
All right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to close for this one.
Unless somebody wants to Photoshop a picture of Pete from the Disney cartoons in Muppet Steak Manhattan and send it to us.
Sure, we'll take it.
I bet that's doable. That feels
or just
easy.
fan art, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw in Willie the Giant. Sure.
Okay.
All right. But that's it for this time. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, you can always find toughpigs.com on toughpigs.com on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're just kind of all over the place. You can always find us. You can follow Ryan on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. You can follow Ryan on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Patrick, can you remind our listeners where they can find you on the line?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Patrick Cotnoir, PatrickCottnoir. You can find me on Instagram just at Cotnoir. I think I'm on Letterboxd. I think it's just my name. I use it a lot, but I think it's just my name. Also watch George Lucas Talk Show. All the episodes are on YouTube. If you like this, you'll probably enjoy that. And that's it. There's so many other things, but if you follow me, you'll see the other stuff.
Right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you to Morgan Davy for designing our logo. And thank you to all of you for listening, rating and reviewing, telling every gentleman who comes into your counting house to listen to Moving Right Along. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Start dancing, Beaker.
It's like when Job at the Bluth Company Christmas party, when Job says, "Everybody dance now."
Yeah.
Everybody dance now.
Right. Exactly like that.
Yeah. Great. All right. What else happens in this movie? Oh, I'm the host.
You're the host.
All right. All right.